Welcome back to Bohemian Tales. My name is Stefan and this is my self-built camper van Ganapati. And today I'm gonna actually go in the garage, the dreaded garage, to kind of take everything out, organize some of the stuff, and hopefully I can get rid of some things because I have to make space for other upcoming things. But first, I need a coffee. Definitely needed that coffee. It still smells really good. It's not super early in the morning, but it's early enough where I can't really tackle one of these projects if I don't have enough coffee. Let's get started. This is my empty 7-gallon water jug. You know, I got two of these. I have one under the sink and I have a foot pump. For some reason, you know, watching some other van lifers when they're like, oh hey, I have a 40-gallon water jug or tank, and they're like, it's not enough. I never get to use this, and I wash dishes every day. Because of having a foot pump and not actually having an electric pump, I guess I'm saving a lot more water. I don't usually fill these up with drinkable water anyways. It's just for me to wash dishes or wash myself. Water that I actually do use for drinking or making coffee or making tea or making soups or making whatever food I need to be making is in two 1-gallon water jugs. Actually wonder if I should keep it because it takes a lot of space, or maybe get rid of it. Some business cards. They make you buy a huge box. And the craziness begins. That's why I've been putting this off so long, because there's a bunch of stuff in here and I seem to always organize it, but every time I look at it, it's still a bunch of stuff everywhere. So I'm hoping to take everything out. This is sawdust for, for the toilet. If you don't know what that means, you can Google that and it'll give you a little bit more insight what sawdust is for a toilet. This is my portable shower, which I am yet to use. I've never used it before. I don't think I'll ever get to, because I hear horror stories about them leaking. They don't really work. I want to keep it just to try it out, but I also want space in the vans. This right here is something that I'm always gonna keep, and I'm always gonna keep charged. This is my battery jump starter that I've actually used. The battery did die one time on me, and I have a whole video about that. And it's a Gulu if you don't have cell signal, if you don't have another car, so you're not reliant on anybody else to come jump start your car. What I do suggest, if you buy one of these, you look to see that it can power if you have a bigger engine. For this one, I do have a link in the description below if you want to check this one out. It's kind of a part of my recovery gear. I got some running shoes, some extra propane. My camp stove can actually use propane and also butane. Butane is the little cans or the canisters that just go straight in the stove, and I usually use these for the outside because they have a higher pressure, and I use the butane for inside because it's just much easier to use. Propane is a lot easier to find than butane, so I definitely want to use these when I'm outside and not waste my butane. I know they're not the most planet friendly. The ones that they did put out, and they're kind of this size, there's like mixed reviews on them. The ones that you can recharge basically, and the last time I looked I couldn't buy them anyway, so this is what I use for now. This is my axe that I use for chopping wood. Use this backside as a hammer, and I did get this axe with that in mind, so I don't have to buy a hammer. And this side has like a rubber sleeve that goes on top of the blade, so when I actually use it as a hammer, I don't accidentally hit myself with the blade. Got this sucker at Harbor Freight. I have extra paper towels. The camp chairs, I have two camp chairs. Only one has a bag that I can actually, put in the back. The other one is really old. It was like a hand-me-down, but I don't actually sit on it. I just use it to prop my feet on it, so when I edit I'm comfortable. This is like a food skewer kind of a thing that you could put like marshmallows or food over the fire, and I bought this from Walmart. When I bought it, I intended to buy it to use it to actually move the wood in the fire pit. I always like find myself having to look for a longer piece of wood to move the fire around, you know what I mean. So this is what I use, and it's thin but it's pretty strong. This is just kind of a trash speaker or like an extender, arm extender or whatever you call these things. I got this at the dollar store. The reason I got it is because I do like to go to National Forest or BLM land where you can stay there for free for 14 days. However, I try to leave the place cleaner than when I find it, so this is what I use. And some of the places that I go to, I collect a lot of trash. It's a little bent right now, but it still works. Now these are initially the materials that I used for my curtains, and this is like a canvas material. It's really nice, and I want to keep some of it because I have another project that I can use this on, but I don't need all of the other material stuff, so this is gonna go back in its bag here. All right, let's get to the tools. These are actually the tools that I used to build the van, and this is the second battery that I have. Flies kill me here. So I have two of these drills. This is the second battery. I try to keep these always charged. Another Harbor Freight purchase, screwdrivers. This is the second drill that I have. I have one of these. It's not very useful. It's useful when I need to know how much pressure I have in the tire, but for it to actually charge, it's pretty weak, so it's more usable if you have like a soccer ball or something. They're all Ryobi because they use the same power system. So because I actually rotate my tires every time I do an oil change, I figure the people actually look to see like that they're not the same, because the back for my van, if it's loaded like it is now, it needs to be at like 80 psi, where the front has to be at like 60 psi. They didn't check that. They just rotated the tires and left them the way it was. So I feel like I have to remind them every time I do that just to do it correctly. All right, now back to this garage here. Last but not least, actually I still have a vacuum cleaner in there, which is also Ryobi, but this is the jigsaw that I also used to build the van with. It's very handy. It did whatever I needed to do. It's kind of hard to cut a straight line with it. I mean, you can, it's just harder. You have to be more careful. I also cut the roof vents holes with this, so it's pretty handy, very powerful. This is the vacuum cleaner that I have, and it's also Ryobi. And how do I put it on? Oh, this way. So it has a filter and everything. There we go. So there you go. I can also use the same battery, so which is really nice. I should find the space for this in the van so I can use it more often. I like it, and it has a lot of power. Really forgot I had this. So this is a kind of a contour gauge, and what's nice about this is that it forms different shapes. So basically, because of the van not having straight lines anywhere, this is a pretty cool tool to go off of, and then you can contour basically the lines that you need to go to. Very useful if you're building your own van. This is a cell phone holder for when I used to have a bike. But I think I might be able to find a different use to this. So I found a new use for that. Look at that. Now I can actually vlog sometimes when I'm driving. Not that you should, but you know, if I'm out in the back road and I'm not in traffic, it should be okay. So I have reflectix for the front windows. I'm gonna actually try to put these in the front. I don't use them very much, but when I'm out boondocking somewhere and it's really hot, they do help, and for privacy as well. Now I have my coffee table that I use when I'm cooking. I'll put the stovetop on top of it. There we go. And then I'll use it as a side coffee table when I'm editing videos. Alright, so this is a cooking folding table. You know, I don't use it as often as I would like. I'm actually considering selling it because it just takes way too much space back here, and for the weight and then how much I use it, I really don't think it's worth carrying with me. So I might put this sucker up for sale. Now the real digging begins. I totally don't remember what I have in this box. This used to be the box for my charge controller. So you're gonna see what I have because I don't remember. Oh, okay, yeah. These are the tools that I use to crimp the wires for the solar with, and then the wires for the charge controller as well. And I have plenty more wires in there. This is a heavier duty crimper, and this is just a regular wire crimper. So I used both of them. I don't remember which one's the heavy duty one. This one's definitely the heavy duty one. It can do up to 2 gauge, so it's actually a pretty good find because every time I looked they had the ones that had like a pressure compressor or something like that. So I don't know how they did it, but it works really well, so that's really good. Definitely keeping that, those are expensive. Alright, so here I have the moonshade that you've seen me actually put up in many of my videos. Yeah, I reached out to them, so they actually are offering you guys $30 off if you're interested to buy this awning, and it's in the description below. I have the link for it. Most of the stuff here you'll also find the links for. I think I might have some for the crimpers, definitely one for the table that I'm actually selling, and I might have one for the jump starter battery thing. Look how compact this gets, and it's not heavy, it's just pretty durable. It's a pretty good product, so if you're interested, check out that link and you can get $30 off. And we all know that awnings are not very cheap, so anything helps, right? More fun stuff is this thing right here. So these are recovery boards. They're not like the brand name or anything like that. I've already actually used them once because I got stuck, and there's a video on that if you want to watch that. But I did damage one of them, so this is how they look like. But one of them, this is the good one, and this is the damaged one. You know, I read about it, supposedly they are made to get damaged so they don't actually damage your tires. And I might need to buy some more pretty soon. I also I'm definitely considering to get some sort of roof rack. I do have solars up on my roof, so I don't really have space for something like that. And these are also a must if you're going off-road. They do help to get you out. At the time I was using it, I didn't know how to use them, but then I did more research after and now I know how to use them, so they're pretty handy. I'm amazed how many things I can fit under here. I swept a little bit, got some of the, you know, the dust and stuff like that, since I don't really access this portion of the van very often. It's nice and clean down there. I'm gonna try to put them away in a more organized fashion. We'll see how that works. I did get rid of some things. I am thinking to get rid of some other things, but for now I'm just gonna put them away because I can't really throw away some of the stuff here. If you'd like to see another van life video, check out this video up here. And if you want to see more videos along the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss any of the new uploads that I put on YouTube. And I'll see you in the next one.